Hi, I'm Crystal, and in this video I will discuss Arizona initiatives and referendums. I will explain how they are created. I will compare and contrast them, as well as discuss the pros and cons of each, and explain how they can create a direct democracy according to the Arizona Constitution. Initiatives are how citizens can collect signatures to propose a new statute or constitutional amendment on the ballot for voters to ultimately decide. Whereas referendums are how citizens can collect signatures and ask citizens to either uphold or repeal an existing law. This is also known as veto referendum or citizens veto. Initiatives are created by citizens who draft and then gather enough signatures to either add, modify, or remove language from the state's constitution or laws. There are two stages to an initiative: petition and ballot. To petition for a constitutional initiative, the proposed amendment must be drafted on a form provided by the Secretary of State, and then 15% of eligible voters, which is approximately 384,000 signatures, must be collected. If enough signatures are collected and verified by the Secretary of State, the measure would make it on the ballot for voters to decide yes or no. If enough voters vote yes, it becomes part of the Arizona Constitution. A statute initiative gives citizens the power to propose, write, and enact laws. These can be new laws or alter or even repeal existing laws, but they must abide by the U.S. and Arizona Constitution. This statute initiative has the petition and ballot procedure, just like the constitutional initiative. But only 10% of eligible voters, or about 256,000 signatures, must be collected to make it on the ballot. On the ballot, if enough signatures were collected, it would appear as a proposition on the next general election ballot. If the majority votes yes, it becomes a law. Constitutional referendums are the most common way that Arizona Constitution is amended. A referendum begins with legislature proposing a new law or change. First, the House and the Senate vote, and a majority vote is needed. Then, voters would be asked at the next general election, or sometimes a special election is held. If it makes it on the ballot, it will appear as a proposition. Statutory referendums are how legislature asks voters to approve a law or change. When the legislator creates a bill, it can either go to the governor or go to the voters. If it is sent to the voters at the next general election, or sometimes at a special election, it will appear on a measure as a ballot with yes or no as options. If the majority votes yes, it becomes a law. A statute referendum by citizen petition or a popular referendum is how voters are given the power to kill the bill or stop the traditional lawmaking process. Most statutes or laws do not take effect right away. There's typically a 90-day grace period, and this allows citizens the opportunity of a popular referendum. This allows any registered voter to collect 5% of eligible voters, or approximately 128,000 signatures, and the law would not take effect if enough signatures are collected. The law will be held and voted on and appear as a measure on the next general election. If the majority votes yes, it becomes a law and takes effect. If not, the voters have successfully vetoed the law. Initiatives and referendums are both how citizens can vote and ultimately decide the outcome of law and constitutional changes. Both initiatives and referendums can appear on the ballot as propositions or measures. Additionally, both become or change the Constitution or law with a majority vote. While initiatives are entirely created by the people through drafting the law or change, collecting the signatures, and then voting, referendums are started by the legislative branch that creates the law and then are voted on by the Senate and the House, and then voted on by the people. Now I will discuss the pros and cons of both initiatives and referendums. A positive of initiatives is that it can only contain one subject. This prevents multiple laws being bundled together and eliminates confusion. A negative of initiatives is that so many signatures are required, and many are unsuccessful unless they hire circulators to collect signatures. And this can be a financial burden for your average citizen. Additionally, about 20% of signatures are invalid or ineligible determined by the Secretary of State. Another con for initiatives is that they are written by the people, and these people are offered no legal help. This can lead to great ideas not being well represented and never enacting change. An advantage of the referendum is that a law or change is written by lawmakers and not your average citizen, so it would be more legally sound, and voters are able to make the ultimate decision. A disadvantage of a referendum is that a law can go straight to the governor, which more often than not, it does, and then voters don't get to decide. But a popular referendum would allow voters 90 days to collect enough signatures to hold off on the law and allowing it to go to the next ballot to be voted on, unless it is an emergency law affecting the peace, health, or safety, government operations, or new tax laws. These take effect immediately and cannot be blocked by the popular referendum. Direct democracy relating to the Arizona Constitution is how people can create and influence their own laws and constitution. We can see this in initiatives, how citizens directly create and change the Constitution and their own laws. First, citizens propose the new law change and collect signatures and then vote on the law or change. Alternatively, referendums are created by lawmakers but ultimately decided on through the people by a popular vote. Thank you.